So today I want to talk to you guys about why I decided to stay in the Tacoma area. So for a lot of you guys who don't know, I actually went to the United States Military Academy at West Point, where I graduated. I commissioned as an Army officer in 2017, and then Joint Base Lewis McChord was technically my second duty station after I was stationed at West Point for some time. And the first time I had ever stepped into Tacoma, Washington was 2018 whenever I arrived at my duty station. And so whenever I got here, I had no idea what was going to happen and where real estate was going to lead me. And I didn't even know that I was going to get into real estate and into being a real estate agent. And so I decided to stay for a multitude of reasons. I'm originally born and raised in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half east of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, the East Coast is all I really have known my entire life. I'd come to Washington a few times to visit. My dad lived over in just north in Vancouver, Canada. And so for years, I would come out here and I got to see the climate and I knew what the weather was like, but I had never been in Tacoma. And so whenever I got here, I started to really like it. It kind of has a little bit of a mix of a small town feel with a little bit of a bigger city, and it has a lot of opportunities as I'm going to get into here in a bit. So the number one reason why I decided to stay, I would say, is probably because, I found my wife. My wife and we met in 2019, and that was the year I actually exited the Army. I got medically retired in 2019 at the end, and so I had met her while I was on my way out of the Army, and we started dating. And I just really couldn't see myself leaving her and going to another city or another part of the country to live, no matter what opportunities were out there for me. But also the second reason why I decided to stay really was because of the real estate. So I had already gotten my real estate license. I really, really believed in Tacoma, in the market in Tacoma, and the direction that we were going in. And so whenever I bought my home in 2019, I realized, this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for me to rent this house out and potentially start to build my rental portfolio. And so I believed in the real estate market itself here. I'd already purchased a home and I became a real estate agent, and I was gaining traction as an agent. And so really, whenever I got out, I was like, I'd be a fool to leave and to go elsewhere and try to get into real estate somewhere else and start fresh. Why don't I just try to stay here, go all in, and guess what? If things don't work out, then I can go ahead and go get a corporate job or maybe move to another location and start doing real estate there. I had a lot of options on my plate, and I just realized that I might as well just go ahead and water the grass where I'm at, because I really liked the location. I liked what I was doing. I'd met my future wife, who I didn't know at the time, and things were going really well for me, so it didn't make sense for me to move. So then fast forward to today, now I have a real estate team. I have multiple investments. I have a rental portfolio here that's growing. I've done fix and flips. I'm starting on real estate development, and I'm really tapping into a larger pool of the local population of people who are investors as well, and who have already done or are trying to do the same thing that I've done, or that I want to do. So for me, it just made a ton of sense for the location, and I've been thriving in this. I love the real estate market here, and I truly believe it's probably the best overall real estate market in the country, in my humble opinion. Another reason why I decided to stay was because, honestly, the winters here are very, very mild. I will say that there's a lot of gray days. There are rainy days, but if you can put up with that, and especially if you're from the East Coast and you don't like snow like myself, I recommend that you really check out the Pacific Northwest, because it doesn't snow nearly as much. It snows maybe 2-3 times a year at most. Most of the time, you can actually golf almost all year round. I just golfed 2 days ago with some friends, and it was 50 degrees outside. It's not the middle of the summer. It's not ideal conditions. However, it's definitely a pretty good environment that if you wanted to golf, that you can go out there and do so comfortably. Another reason why I decided to stay was because, I've always wanted to live closer to a major city, and so Seattle provides that for me. There are a lot of opportunities and perks that come with living near a major city, especially one that has as robust of an economic market as Seattle does. You have Amazon headquarters, you have Microsoft headquarters, there's a ton of tech companies. You have Meta has a headquarters. Meta has a headquarters, better known as Facebook. So there are a lot of tech tech companies, a lot of other young entrepreneurs, a lot of people who are in the software engineering, in the tech world. So as somebody who's in the business world, who's an entrepreneurial minded, I really enjoy being around people like that, because you kind of have a consensus of younger people that are striving and getting into the 30s, and they're a lot of like-minded individuals. Another reason is because honestly, it's a very competitive area. It's competitive in business. It's competitive in sports. So I'm an athlete. I played Division I football. I played at Army all 4 years, and whenever I'm here, I like to be around others who are competitive. I have golf buddies that are competitive with me. I have, there's a lot of other recreational sports, but everybody's pretty competitive and athletic. A lot of athletes come out of the area, and as I'm looking to grow, a family, but I have a young daughter and another daughter that's going to be born in a few months, and hopefully some more kids down the line. I look for areas where athletes come out of and have opportunities to pursue that as well, because that's where I'm personally inclined to. If they so choose to pursue any kind of athletic career, I would prefer them to be in an environment that's going to provide them opportunities. And I truly believe that the Seattle-Tacoma market and the Seattle-Tacoma area will do just that. Another thing that I really love about the Pacific Northwest is there's a lot of other activities than just what a typical city has to offer. Yes, there's sports. There's pretty good weather all year round. It's mild, depending on what you consider good. Winters are mild, but like I said, they do have gray skies. There's a lot of business opportunities, but also there's a lot of outdoor things to do as well. Back in a few months ago in September, a buddy of mine, we went on a fishing trip. We caught massive king salmon, and we had a blast. I went on a few hikes this year that are all within 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on how far you go, of where I live in Tacoma. There's also a lot of water sports. There are lakes, there's water skiing, there's obviously the Puget Sound, which is the ocean itself. And then if you really wanted to get to the coast with waves, there are incredible views on the coast of Washington and Oregon that are all within a 2 to 4 hour drive. And so there's a lot of opportunities to do, and if you needed to venture out and go elsewhere, you can do so. A huge perk, in my opinion, of living where I live is I live just 20 minutes away from the airport. Even if you go a little further south, you're really not stretching it too much further from where I live in terms of the time that it'll take you to get to the airport. We have a major airport that goes to almost every major city in the United States. Our airport is called SeaTac, and it's pretty much between Seattle and Tacoma, and it's very convenient. It's very convenient to travel, to get in and out of Seattle, and I can get to SeaTac from within 30 minutes to leaving my home, as long as there's no traffic. So to sum up this video, the reasons why I decided to stay in Tacoma after I got out of the military were my relationship with my wife, my business opportunities and opportunities within real estate, the real estate market itself, the local environment and the community of people, and overall, I'd say just everything that Seattle and Tacoma and the Pacific Northwest have to offer, all-encompassing environment that we have with the people, the location, things to do, activities, outdoor activities, business opportunities, my wife. Those are all the reasons why I decided to stay. If you have any other questions or you want me to elaborate any more on anything that I discussed today, feel free to reach out and touch base. I'd be more than happy to connect with you.